Hello. Okay, so we are now ready for our Technique 101 Part 2. So again, just a reminder for any exercise sessions that we do together, please make sure that you are fit and well enough to do so. And if you need clearance from your doctor or a physician, then please ensure that you do that before you partake in any of our exercise sessions. Okay, so we're going to do a bit more stuff on core technique and arms now, or upper body. Let's get going. So on the floor, we're going to just work through some ab work. So we're going to do some sit-ups. So with sit-ups, you're not doing anything when you're down here, and you're not really engaging anything when you're up here. The optimum range of motion is from this sort of 45-degree angle and back down roughly to where your shoulder blades are going to touch the floor, where you can really feel that sort of tremble, that tremor starting to take hold in your abs. So when we do sit-ups, that's the range that we want to be working in from here to here, here, here. So we're never coming up fully and we're never lying down fully. So the next thing to think about with the sit-up is to exhale when you're coming up. By doing that, by forcing that breath, you want to over-exaggerate that breath. So make a noise. I know it seems like you might feel a bit silly if you're making noise as you're doing your exercise, but by doing that, you're forcing your abs to engage, which just gives you that extra boost over the workout, and it helps you to complete that part of the move too. So we go down, we inhale, and you want your line of sight to just be making a natural arc shape rather than tensing your neck too much. So relax your neck, support it with your hands. That's really sit up. We also are going to do a C curve. So when I was just doing that sit up, I was hinging from my hips. Now curling back. So can you see I'm trying to curl my spine, rolling each vertebra at a time, holding it there, and then coming back up, same to reverse. In this instance, I am sitting up nice and straight. So, engage your abs, breathe in, and so that's just really working your lower abdominals, scooping down. You want to really accentuate that scoop. Imagine you're a letter C. Okay, next we're going to do a bicycle crunch. There's a few different ways to do it, and it depends on your ab strength. But ultimately what we're wanting to do is bring one elbow to the opposite knee. Now, if you can have your feet up off the floor, like I have, that's great. Lean back as much as you can. Twist around, get that rotation. If your feet are on the floor, that is also fine. That's a modified version to keep your feet on the floor, and then you're just bringing that knee. The further back you go, the harder it is going to be to hold that pose. Just make sure that your abs are nice and tight and your lower back isn't scooping. So you want to try and be as flat backed as you can. If you find that going back is causing you lower back pain and you do feel like you're scooping that lower back, then come up higher and you just do it here. So wherever is comfortable for you, that's the place to hold it. And then you can always progress to leaning further back and progress to having your feet up. Now, if you have bad knees and you find squatting too painful, then a hip bridge is a really good alternative because you're still working the same muscle groups, but you're not putting the same tension on your knees by having your body weight to support. So, lie down, palms to the floor, bring your heels in close towards your bum. Your feet are going to be hip width apart. Make sure your knees are tracking in a nice straight line, and you're going to curl your spine up. So starting with your bottom, peel off the mat or peel off the floor. So rather than coming up in one piece, shooting up like this, it's a curl, peel off the floor. So feel each vertebrae release. Evenly distribute your weight across your feet, but your weight is more primarily towards your heels. So squeezing your glutes and keeping your abs nice and tight to protect your back. So you don't want to overextend, you don't want to be pushing up like this, causing a unnatural arch in your lower back because you don't want to strain your back. So you're keeping a nice flat back, flat abs. Don't push up too high, but you want to push up high enough that you're engaging your glutes and your core's having to work, so your hips are going to want to drop. So just keep reminding yourself, squeeze those abs, push those hips up towards the sky, but keeping that nice alignment in your back. Release the tension in your shoulders. This is a move that you're naturally going to want to hunch up. So try and relax your shoulders as much as you can, and then to reverse it, you do that peel down in the reverse order, so that your bum is the last thing to hit the floor. So peel up, abs nice and tight, relax your neck. Imagine you've got like an orange under your chin, so you're not sort of straining your neck to look up, you're just naturally sort of looking in that direction. Squeeze those glutes, and then down. We'll sometimes do hip bridges on your toes as well. So that on flat-footed, you're going to feel it more on your glutes. On your toes, you're going to feel it more in your hamstrings. So same again, same principles. If you're wearing high shoes, peel up, relax your shoulders, squeeze your glutes, abs nice and tight, curl back down. Let's do that a couple more times. Squeeze and down. I mean, do a few of these and it is a burner. Excellent. A couple of other moves whilst we're down here on the floor. So we've got kickbacks and leg extensions. So same principle as we went through with the Technique 101 to make sure your 4 points of contact are in alignment. So you want to make sure your wrist is stacked under your shoulder, your knees stacked under your hip. Make sure your back is nice and flat, so your abs are engaged. Nice long neck. So imagine if you have a ponytail like me, someone is pulling your head that way to try and reach the wall over there. And if you have a tail, they're pulling it that way. So you're nice and long. We're trying to avoid any slumping down like this or any scooping up like this, unless you're doing a move that particularly requires those positions. So doing a kickback. So you're going to keep nice and strong in those 4 points of contact. One leg is going to come up. I'm trying not to twist my hips. So I'm trying not to twist around like this or dip down. And I'm trying not to arch like this. So really nice and strong. I'm going to reach my leg up like this and back down. If you're doing it well, you won't be able to go too high. If you go high, that's because I'm overarching my back. So as soon as I've got a flat back and my abs are engaged, it's harder to do. So kickback, that was a kickback, a leg extension. Just going to shimmy up so you can see me. Same principle with keeping your back nice and strong and supported. You're reaching back behind you. Imagine someone's pulling your toes to try and reach that wall. So again, you're not going like this. You're just reaching straight back. And then we may add in a balance move into that position. So say my left leg is going back. So at the same time, my right arm, it's been a long day, guys. Right arm is going to go forward and I'm going to try and reach that wall. So again, avoiding any of this, keeping your abs nice and tight, a long neck, and back down. Opposite side. Great balance move. Fire hydrant is another one. So staying in this position, we're going to kick out to the side. Apparently this means you're trying to replicate a dog doing a wee up against fire hydrant. How lovely. So we're going to kick out to the side. Same thing, try not to pop that hip, try not to drop down, keep a nice flat back. I like to say push up out of your armpits. It's the only way I can think to describe it. So I'm avoiding doing this, slumping down and pushing up. So trying to push up out of my armpit. So come out to the side, squeeze your abs, keep your hips nice and square. Other side. That's your fire hydrant. Okay, so there. Kind of the core moves down here. We're just going to run through a few arm moves so that you're familiar with the terminology. So, a bicep curl. You're curling up. This is your bicep brachii, so you're going to curl up. what we want to do is make sure that our pelvis is slightly tucked under so that you're avoiding hyperextension there. So nice and tall. Again, think of that strand pulling you up to the sky. Relax your shoulders, pelvis tucked under very slightly, knees slightly soft, abs tight. So only thing moving is your biceps. If you add weight to this, you might see some people in the gym with really heavy weights who are doing this. In that motion, your back is so vulnerable. So you want to just be nice and aligned. Try not to fling yourself around because it's the bicep that we want to work. A tricep exercise, so one that we call a boot camp the loofah, when we're holding a long pole, it's like you're loofing your back. So this is going to work your triceps so you can hold onto a weight. I'm going to just show you with this because this is something that you would need a weight or a band to do. So hold that, whatever it is, behind you, and I'm going straight up. My elbows are constantly pointing forwards. So almost like you're trying to squeeze your ears. Come up. Same positioning, that strong abs tucked on the pelvis. So I'm trying to avoid this. It's this. Okay, a deadlift. We can do deadlifts weighted or without weight. If you have lower back problems, then avoid doing deadlifts. But if you're going to do it, make sure you're pushing your bum out. So similar with our squat, you don't want to be bending your knees too much. So it's a soft knee, and you're going to, I'm going to pop this on the floor, so I'm going to do a deadlift by picking up my bottle. So I'm having a nice long neck, my abs are tight, I'm hinging from my hips, I'm relaxing my shoulders, and pushing back, and reaching to get it. I'm feeling it down the back of my hamstrings now, and I'm pulling up to standing. My abs are nicely engaged. I'm going to drop this back down. So you're really over-accentuating that sticking out of your bum. Now I'll sometimes do a single leg deadlift. So if we're holding a weight, for example, I'm going to hold it in my right hand and my right leg is going to go back. So I'm going to engage my left glute, squeezing, softening. Sorry for the noise that's going on out there. I've got building work happening. I won't be here for the next video with the noise going on. And down. So it's really slow because you're really engaging that glute. So bent over row. We're going to hinge back, soft knees, making sure those knees are behind us. And if you're holding onto a weight or you've got a resistance band, we're going to pull back, so you're driving your elbows back, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Imagine there's a big grapefruit on your back and you're trying to crush it with your shoulder blades. So your arms aren't coming out to the sides. This is what it looks like in the front. Coming straight back. So you could be holding onto a resistance band here that you're standing on, or weights if you have it, or something, a weighted rucksack. Fill it with some heavy things you can find around the house, some books. Hold onto the strap, pull back like this. So we're avoiding this. An upright row, same sort of idea of doing that rowing motion, but this time we're holding our hands closer together, pelvis tucked under, abs tight, nice gap between your ears and your shoulders, tall. And we're lifting up, leading with your elbows, so they're coming up nice and high and your hands are coming under your chin. So again, you can do this with a resistance band that you're standing on, or lifting something heavy, even a big old 6 pint of milk. So up like this, nice and high. And that's it for now.